and see if I can adjust the setting a little bit. So yeah, we're good.
Yes, so delighted that you're here. And of course, the Disability Foundation Connector would be one of the affiliates of. And thankfully, all the programs that they offer, and there are many, and they're amazing. And I've attended several others, and in addition to sharing this chair yoga practice. So they're all recorded on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're wanting to check in later, or revisit, or pick up, if you thought you needed to leave class early, etc. So here we are. So my name is Bobbie, and I'm a yoga therapist, and totally in love with sharing adaptive yoga. So an invitation, as always, to begin a yoga practice by finding a comfortable sitting position. So sit in a way that you feel the most at ease. It can be challenging for our nervous system to calm down if we're uncomfortable in our bodies. And then it's ready, lift your shoulders up, back and down. Soft, organic movements, nothing rigid. And then if you'd like, rest your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And so an invitation now to perhaps bring your hands to your chest, to your heart center. So it might be palms open or palms together. So if this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, an invitation to explore choosing another placement for your hands. And so we never forfeit balance to come into a closer movement. And then as ready, lift your heart to your hands, bow your head to your heart. And an invitation to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. So setting aside whatever was going on for you before the yoga practice for the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. Then it's ready, if your eyes are closed, gradually blinking your eyes open. And relax your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. And now an invitation to wave your hands, so reaching up to the sky. So as high as feels comfortable for you. And maybe we can imagine that we're waving to our ancestors, saying, good day. And then coming forward a little, waving to our ancestors. So Uncle George, my dog Bubbles. And then reaching up to the sky. Again, so I love to share the story about the woman I had in my class for a few years. She was well over 100 years old. And we were doing this practice one day, and she said, I feel like my ancestors are waving back. And so just like you're shaking water off your hands, let your arms slow down by your side, or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then if you'd like, it's available to you, reaching up one more time. Yeah, and maybe taking a look between your palms if it doesn't hurt your neck, and notice if your hands are facing each other. And then return your gaze on the horizon. And then with a big yawn or exhale, releasing your arms down. Ah. Woohoo! It's yoga time. My husband, my husband hasn't done this lately. His name's Laney. You go yoga, yoga, yoga. So let's repose. So at this time, I'd like you to, if possible, find a space where you are supporting your own spine. You might come away from the back of the chair and mat. so that you feel you're sitting forward on your sits bones. You do a little bum dance. So sits bones, the bones we sit on. If you need the back of the chair for support today, honor that. I know that some of you are wheelchair users, and a lot of work's gone into setting your chairs up so that they're supportive. And so it is not one size fits all. Right? We don't all wear the same pair of sandals or shoes. And so again, let's ground through our sits bones. Maybe noticing where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Our belly is soft. Lengthen the spine. So did you know we can create space between our vertebrae? And that we're tallest in the morning. And then lift your shoulders up, back, and down. Relax your arms in your lap or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then an invitation to tuck your chin in slightly. You're placing our chin parallel with the floor, tucked in a little. And if you'd like, feel free to close your eyes here or soften your gaze. So a soft gaze downwards, 3 or 4 feet in front of us. It can be calming for the nervous system. And so our attention moves inward. So allow the facial muscles to soften and so maybe noticing the alignment of our knees, hips, ankles, shoulders over our hips. And then when you're ready, if it's available to you, placing one hand on your belly. And so if you're blessed with a yoga buddy, the yoga buddy can help guide the movement. So of course, not doing the work for you. And always setting the intention of loving kindness. And so one hand placed on your belly, bringing a gentle awareness to our breath. On inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. Keeping one hand on your belly, take your other hand to your chest, to your heart center, if you'd like, and that's available to you. And maybe noticing the pattern and movement of your breath between your abdomen and your upper torso. And then see if you can begin to extend the breath. So making it just a little bit longer than it was when we began. And then see if you can begin to extend the exhale. So when we lengthen our exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding, stress, and tension. So just for a few more breaths, or as long as feels comfortable, keeping this simple, however, say easy breathing technique going, yogic breathing, breath awareness practice. And so as an alternative, I'll give you 2 options today during the practice. So at the moment, if the breathing practice doesn't feel comfortable for you, I'd like to invite you to allow a gentle sense of gravity pushing your feet down through the earth, allowing your shoulders to soften away from your ears. And then lastly, as another alternative, bringing your awareness to the soundscape around you. Perhaps noticing the sound furthest away from you. And so I can hear some voices off in the distance. I can hear the creaking of one of my flower pot as it sways a little bit in the wind. And then maybe bring your awareness to the sound in between the one that's furthest away. Sound. And so I can hear the sound of the gentle wind breeze. And so whatever your choice is today for grounding practice, the invitation just for a few more moments to keep it flowing. So whether it's breath, grounding through gravity, pushing our feet down into the earth, shoulders to soften away from the earth, or the soundscape. And so when you're ready, if your eyes were closed, gently blinking your eyes open. A little wiggly fidget. And a little bum dance. Woo-hoo. If you like, you could take a look around your space, maybe name 3 objects that you see. And so moving on, an invitation to know that you are the world expert on your body. And I, as a yoga therapist, am committed to and will do my best to guide you in your practice today. And so, of course, we're online. I can't see most folks. So I trust that you are taking good care. And so all of yoga has a unique philosophy. And one of the very first principles of the yoga teaching practice would be do no harm. So ahimsa. Do no harm, body, mind, and spirit. And so, of course, begins with us and out to our kin and loved ones and out into the community. And even we can think more globally if you'd like. And for sure, I know that we are becoming fast a global community. So here we are. Let's repose. So this time I'd like you to ground through your feet. Center and ground through the soles of your feet. And so we need to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. And so if you can't feel your feet in the usual manner, I'd like to invite you to, if it feels okay for you, to take a look at your feet. If you're blessed with a yoga buddy, if it's okay with your guidance, could place your hands at your ankles, seated in front of you. And so ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. Their sits bones are sharp on the chair. You can pull the buttock flush away, even if you'd like. And so in a way, when we're seated in the chair, our sits bones become the feet of our toes. So lengthen your spine. Lift the shoulders up, back and down. Belly soft, breath quiet. Tuck your chin in slightly, parallel with the floor. So if it's helpful, you can take a finger or 2 on your chin and imagine a turtle. And so some days I'm a turtle, other days I'm a rabbit. Not sure quite which at the moment. Probably more turtle mode. And then, so from here, let's bring our hands together. And rub your palms. So delighted to share that there has been research that shows what we have always known, really, that our hands are not only connected to our heart, but to our mind as well. And so if you'd like, give your hands a little massage, your wrists even. And then maybe taking your hands, sweeping up your body. A bit of self-nurturing, self-care. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, you're just taking your hands to your lower back and an invitation to sweep your hands down the outside of your legs. Again, if you have a Buddha buddy, it can help with this, and then sweeping up the inside. And so only going as far as feels comfortable for you. In other words, you're stable in your chair. So if you can reach down to your feet, go for it. And one more time, sweeping down the outside of our thighs, our legs, maybe reaching our feet, and then sweeping up the inside. Oh, it's a little shake out again. So from here, let's do some movements and warm up for neck and shoulders. However, before that, I'd like to begin a practice for our eyes. And so when you're ready, sitting up tall, push down through one foot, push down through the other. Maybe noticing, can you feel one foot more than the other? Chin in slightly, parallel with the floor. And then as you're ready, if you like, invitation to look up towards the ceiling. So move your eyes, meet where the ceiling meets the wall. Looking up towards the sky. And then looking downwards, soft gaze. 3 or 4 feet in front of you, perhaps. And so linking our breath with our movements, if that feels comfortable for you. And inhale, looking up. Exhale, looking downwards. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, soft gaze downwards. And now let's add gentle neck movements to the eye movements. And so if any of the movements, the poses I share with you, don't feel comfortable, I'd like to invite you to skip it and come back to your breath and maybe explore the breath as a link to movements. Imagination's powerful. Yeah, so we'll go with that for now. So gentle neck movements, warming up our cervical spine. On inhale, looking up. Exhale, looking downwards. Inhale, look up. Exhale, looking downwards. Gentle chin towards our chest. Inhale, looking up. And looking downwards, soft gaze. And then it's ready, bring your head back to neutral, to center. And then take one ear towards your shoulder. Pause. And then move your head from side to side. So if you'd like to add a little Buddha smile to your movement, so smiles are contagious. They also help to release saliva. So we want a nice juicy mouth and juicy body. And then it's ready, make your way back. And then turn a soft gaze, looking towards the side. And only turn your head as far as feels comfortable for you. Pause. And then as if you're nodding no, turn your head from side to side. And then it's ready. Let's move back to center. And so from here, I'd like to practice a little bit of face yoga. So we're going to be making some nasty faces. No worries. I'm the only one that can be seen. far as I know. So yeah, one of the most challenging places to let go of tension in our face, I think because we have so many facial muscles. And a resource of mine told me that particularly a lot of us are holding tension in our jaw these days. And so here we go. Open up your mouth wide. And relax. And then when you're ready, let's open our mouth wide again, but this time see if you can bring your lips over your teeth. And relax. And then when you're ready, pull all your facial muscles. You can imagine this if you like. Pull all your facial muscles towards your nose. Just put into a limit. And relax. And now an invitation to make a soft fist. So again, if you have a yoga buddy, maybe we can help with this. So create resistance. So that tension we bring into our jaw sometimes. We bring it in from one day to the next. If it's helpful, you can hold your arm. And so we don't want to create lockjaw. So we'll not stay there too long. So moving from side to side. Creating resistance. And release. And now an invitation to bring a soft fist up to the middle of your forehead. So sometimes referred to as our third eye. And so a lot of conversations about discussions. What is the third eye? Where is it? So essentially it is the middle of our forehead. And it's not rocket science. If this is the front part of our brain. We put gentle pressure here to be calming for the nervous system. And then when you're ready, shake it. And then if you'd like, reach up and over, place one hand on the side of your head, and again, creating resistance. So is your belly still soft, breath quiet? The other side. And I want you to notice how it feels to tuck your chin in slightly. So that can help release the neck as well. And so now I'd like to invite you, and I'll turn a little bit to show you this. So place your hands at the base of your skull. If that's not possible, if you have a headrest, maybe pressing your head gently against the headrest would feel good. And so let's place our head gently against our hands. And release. Shake out. All right. So hopefully that's released a little bit of tension for everyone. And so from here, I'd like to continue moving down along the spine. And so let's come into what's referred to as cat and cow. And so I'd like to invite you to draw your chest in. So it's as if your sternum is drawing in towards your rib cage. And then move your sternum forward and up. And then we'll keep this movement flowing. So a few more times in your own time and movement. And you might notice that as we breathe in, things expand. And as we breathe out, things contract. So you might notice as well that there's a natural tendency for the hands as we exhale, drawing our sternum in towards our chest, for the hands to slide away from us towards the knees. And breathing in, hands sliding towards us. And so if you are super duper sensitive, sliding your hands along your thighs might not feel great. So an invitation to explore moving energetically. So it might be that your hands are floating lightly above your legs. And slowly as ready, come out of the movement that you're on. And relax your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. And maybe even just do a little wiggly fidget. So be creative with your movements. So we all have our own sense of rhythm. And it's summertime. With most of the planet, I think. So, woohoo, summertime. So I'm just gonna, I want to make sure that I stay on track time-wise. Sometimes I have a tendency to go for a little bit. You know, we all have busy lives, and so I think all the more reason to do yoga practice. So I'd like you to think of this yoga practice. So India's gift to the world as your gift to you. And so with that in mind, again, let's repose. So ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. Make sure your feet are placed evenly on your footrest or on the floor. Your sits bones are sharp on the chair, spine long. Lift your shoulders up, back and down. So these movements are not a big scrunch up towards our ears. Essentially, we're allowing our shoulders to soften away from our ears at this point. And then again, relax your arms by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And so from here, I'd like to invite you to reach your arm up to the sky. So you choose which side feels most comfortable. And so maybe move towards your 50% and then slowly float your arms. So repeat the movement 3 more times, same side, reaching up to the sky. Then slowly float your arms. So this time, if you'd like, and it's available to you, linking your breath with your movements, reaching up on an inhale, full length of your inhale. On exhale, float your arm down the full length. So as if on our inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Relax your arms by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And we'll begin the gentle practice on the other side. So, reaching your arm up to the sky. It might be that today you're visualizing the movement. So, visualization. 3 more times, reaching up as high as feels comfortable for you. Slowly. So adding a gentle breath this time if you'd like. On inhale, reach up, full length of your inhale. On exhale, pull your arm down. It's as if on our inhale, there's a beginning and a middle and an end. On exhale. So arms by your sides, spiral your palms downwards, so thumbs down towards the earth. Up, and maybe notice which feels better for you. Palms up, and then when you're ready, if you'd like, reaching both arms up. So take a look between your palms. Notice if they're facing each other. Then return your gaze on the horizon. So it is not about forcing one limb to do what the other is doing. We just want them talking. And then as you're ready, slowly. So take a moment to feel your work. So in a way, the yoga happens between the poses and the movements. So notice the breath. breath is one of our main teachers. It'll let you know if you're into pose too deep or moving too quickly. By getting short, jagged, you might find yourself holding on to your breath. And notice any subtle sensations. So trust the sensations are there. It's not going to be a rocket ship across the sky. So can you name the sensation? So that may be a sense of energy that you didn't have at the beginning of the class. And maybe it's fatigue. So no judgment. Yoga meets us exactly where we are. So moving on, let's repose. So I'd like you to, again, ground to your feet. And so push down through one foot and push down to the opposite foot. And again, sitting up nice and tall. Maybe noticing, can you feel one foot more than the other? And if you'd like, and it's possible, you're picking up your toes, wiggling your toes a little bit. Picking up on the little toe side. Press back down. It's an alternative. If again, you'd like to visualize, imagination's powerful. So, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders up. And so from here, I'd like us to go for yoga swim. So I'd like you to, we're going to be a little more creative today. I'd like you to imagine your arms like seaweed or seagrass. I think the grass that's in rivers is called seagrass, I'm not sure. Or seaweed, so seaweed at the bottom of the ocean. And the seaweed is making its way up towards the light. So it can be interesting to close our eyes as we practice these gentle movements. So stretch into the stretch. Get bigger in space. We tend to shrink. So moving in your own time and rhythm, maybe an invitation to take your awareness to wherever your body's talking to you and to send your breath there. So our breath, of course, is part of our life force. And then if you'd like, maybe noticing where it doesn't feel like there's as much energy moving through your body as you'd like. So all the more reason to send our life force there. And so we don't just breathe into the spaces we can feel, right? The muscles that we can flex or whatever. And then lastly, just finishing up where your body is still talking to you. And then slowly come on back to stillness. Invitation to relax your hands, your arms, wherever feels most comfortable. And so notice the breath. Is your breath long or smooth, jagged? Notice any subtle sensations. And so moving on, there is some construction going on next door. So I'm hoping that's not interfering with the class. And I just want to make sure that I'm being heard. I know the iPad was a little bit far away last week. So if you are live, can you give me a thumbs up? Can you hear me clearly? Cool. Okay. All right. So, yeah, moving on. So maybe just wiggle your fidget, warm up, give yourself Little love taps. And so from here, if you'd like to come back in the chair a little. So if you know, we're going to come into a practice called finding our balance. And so balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. And so worth repeating, balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. And so for this practice, I'd like to invite you to, that you can hold on to the underside of the chair if you like, maybe, or have your hands at your hips. If you know balance is a challenge for you, make sure you have whatever device you need to keep you stable in your chair. And so we'll begin with an inhale, lengthen the spine. And then on exhale, hinging from the hips, come forward a little. So noticing that sometimes when we come into a forward fold, our chin wants to jet up. So I invite you to tuck your chin in slightly and then rock back up. And so in your own time and rhythm, for a few more breaths, or as long as it feels comfortable, keeping this gentle movement flowing. And so it's not about seeing how far down you can go. Just come to that. So I suggested earlier, move towards your 50%. Nice flat back, sit bones, sharp on the chair. And then it's ready, make your way back to neutral spine. Take a moment, notice how you feel. And then from here, I'd like to invite you to holding on to the underside of the chair, your wheel, if you're a wheelchair user, where we need to feel stable. And then reach one hand down towards the floor, towards the earth. So as if you're reaching to pick something up. Keep both sits bones on the chair. And then move from side to side. So if it feels helpful, you can inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. If linking the breath with the movement doesn't work for you, breathe in whatever way you can. So if you're feeling congested or you have an obstruction. And so you might notice that as we warm up our spine, these movements become more easeful. We're able to go a little deeper. Cover your little Buddhist smile. And then it's ready, come on back to center. Take a moment. And then from here, if you like, we'll come into a gentle twist. So I like to place my hands at my belly, so a little bit lower, so the base of my spine. And then breathe in, so create space between our vertebrae. And then coming into the twist, one vertebrae at a time. And if you'd like, you can slide that hand in towards your head and then gentle twist from side to side. So this is a gentle twist. We're not going to our full range of motion. And so with that in mind, see if you can resist the temptation to turn your head to its full range of motion. So keep our head in line with our spine. And then it's ready, finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to your neutral spine. Relax your arms by your sides and on your lap, palm up or down as desired. And take a moment to let your belly soften and your breath settle. so from here, I don't know about you, but I find that I sit a lot and my hips can start talking to me after a while. Hey, hey. So let's come into movement where we're going to hopefully warm up our lower back and our hips a little more. And so if possible, I'd like you to bring your feet so that they're a little wider than outer hip bone distance. So knees tracking over ankles, toes turned out a little. Okay. And then with your hands at your hips or wherever you need to, feel comfortable. Let's come into movement that I call, well, sometimes I used to call it stirring the pot, but I'm more inclined to suggest that you circle your heart forward and then circle back. And so your movements might be a little smaller, larger than mine. And so moving in your own time and rhythm. And of course, we're keeping both sits bones on the chair. And as you begin to feel your lower back and your hips soften and release a little, see if you can go a little bit deeper. So shoulders moving towards our knees. Of course, they're not coming all the way down. And then when you're ready, reverse the movement. So our hips are ball and socket. We can move in both directions. And with your chin tucked in slightly, I'd like to invite you to bring gentle awareness as you're moving to the space in front of you. And maybe bringing a gentle awareness to the space beside you. And notice how that makes you feel. Bring your awareness to the space above you. And especially an invitation to bring your awareness to the space behind you. And then moving away from me to we to trust that we are being supported. So this is a loving, authentic community. So moving away from me to we, invitation to trust that we are being supported. And slowly make your way back to neutral spine. Relax your arms, toes heel in if you move your feet out a little bit. Whew. And again, feel your work. Sorry, I'm actually adjusting. I am an old Girl Guide ranger, and it's like depending on the weather, it's like I'm throwing clothes on or off, and it's been pretty moody weather here on the coast. Part of the day, I'm down by the ocean scooping ice cream. I have a little ice cream shop with my husband, and there's a lot of wind there. And here, I'm really feeling like it's heating up. So, I'm having to adjust the clothing. So, I would really like to encourage you to stay hydrated. And of course, we all know that it's important to stay hydrated. However, one of the things that I learned from an Ayurvedic perspective with hydration that might be interesting information in regards to drinking water is that to have it so that it's room temperature and to sip it rather than chug it, which is sometimes a tendency. And because if we drink it up a lot too fast, it can have a tendency to go right through us. And depending on whether there's an outhouse in the vicinity, problematic, or the ocean or something. So sipping, and maybe if you sometimes ice is necessary, but if you can avoid it. And so don't take my word for it, investigate, notice how you feel. And so with cooling in mind, I'd like to share a practice with you today, a yogic breathing practice called Sitali or Sitkari, depending on how we do it. And so it's known as a cooling breath. And so this is safe for everyone. And so I'd like to, at this time, invite you to find a comfortable sitting position. And I'm just going to move into the iPad a little more just because I want to get out of the sun a little. And I might even turn the iPad away a little. And so, hello. I'm a little closer so I can see the screen a little better. And so maybe I'll just lower it a little bit too. The joys of technology. Oh my, we get to hang out together and do yoga. So one more adjustment, sorry. Okay, so cooling breath. So the way it is practiced is, if possible, we're going to be inhaling through our tongue rolled. And exhale slowly. And so not everyone is able to roll their tongue, so it's not right or wrong, it's just the way we're made. So if you're not able to curl your tongue, the alternative would be to inhale through your teeth slightly parted. And exhale slowly. And lastly, an option would be maybe a little cheerio, or like you're inhaling through a straw. And so with those three options in mind, do your own thing. And if for whatever reason it doesn't feel comfortable for you, makes you anxious in any way, come back to your natural rhythm of breathing. So here we go. We're sitting up comfortably. And so let's take an inhale through your nose, unless you're congested or you're having obstruction. Exhale slowly. And we'll begin. So cooling breath, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So if my count doesn't work for you, my cueing, you can do it whatever way you like. So if you want to add a count of 3 or 4 to inhale and exhale, go for it. And so now I'd like to invite you to reach one hand across your opposite knee or thigh. Your other hand sits on top. Turn your torso in that same direction. And we'll continue. Cooling breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then when you're ready, let's switch sides. So you reach across your opposite knee or thigh. Place your other hand on top. Turn your torso in that same direction. And we'll continue. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And let's meet back and center just for a few more breaths when you're ready. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then when you're ready, just let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. And maybe noticing if you felt a subtle shift in your energy. And so they're one of the yoga, I like to refer them as yoga toys, not yoga tools, and tools and toolbox implications that we need fixing. So that's not my belief. So you can put that breathing technique in your yoga toy in your yoga toy box. And so I think that from here we need to come into a short guided meditation, your final relaxation before saying till we meet again. And so let's make sure that we're seated comfortably. So do a little bump dance, maybe shift back and forth. Maybe fidget. And then if you'd like, you put a little bit of weight along your thighs. That can be energizing, help with fatigue. Of course, that doesn't feel good for everyone. Alternatively, if you like to put you could take an old yoga mat or a new one, roll it up, put it along your spine. Whatever feels comfortable and supportive for you. And so, the meditation I'd like to share with you today is by Thich Nhat Hanh. And so, Thich Nhat Hanh was a beloved Zen Buddhist monk and beloved by many. He passed away, I think, about a year and a half ago now, maybe 2 years. And I just so adored him and so adore his teachings. And so this breathing practice is by him. And so with your hands resting on your thighs, if you'd like, place your palms face down. And so hand gestures are ways for us to focus our mind. And so you can, if you'd like, you can call this a hand gesture of calm abiding. And if that doesn't work for you, that place in your hands, choose whatever placement works for you. Then draw your hands in towards your head and look down into your heart, see what you can see. And for the practice today, I'd like to invite you, if it feels comfortable, to keep your eyes open, soft gaze in front of you, maybe 3 or 4 feet on the floor or the earth. And so breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I release. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. And so we'll sit and breathe together with a gentle reminder for a few moments, as long as it's comfortable. So breathing. And without changing anything, bring a gentle awareness back to your breath. And maybe see if you can begin to deepen the inhale, lengthen your exhale. And so your eyes are closed. Gently blink your eyes open. And maybe take a look around the space you're in. Name 3 objects you can see.
or it might be that you wiggle your fingers and toes. So falling awake, not asleep. Falling awake. That's my theme for this lifetime. Awake, not asleep. So thank you, everyone. And thank you to my tech hosts today, Costars on holidays, and Dear Heart. Sorry, I forgot your name already. Good memory, but short. So I appreciate the Disability Foundation, Connectra, for providing this opportunity for us to practice yoga together. And so the teacher me honors and appreciates the teacher in each of you. And I didn't stay in bed today. So if you'd like to hang out for a few moments to have a conversation, totally open to that. Otherwise, have an amazing day, and I hope to connect with you again next week.
Bobbie, I have to say that these sessions are absolutely fantastic. I love the breathing and the relaxation. I always feel so good afterwards. I have been looking for decades for a seated yoga session, and every single time I'm absolutely loving it. So thank you so much. Oh,
You made my day. Thank you, love.
Oh, your voice. Oh,
did my job.
Oh, but I mean, I can tell that you love it, and you're sharing that, and you're making me love it even more. Like I knew I wanted to do yoga, and you just empower me to be able to enjoy it and feel it. And I used to be a seated aerobics instructor, so I have to fight my, okay, I need to do this. And your voice and the way you present yourself, it allows me to be able to go, no, nice movements, breathe. I didn't have that as much, and this is absolutely wonderful. So namaste.
Thank you, love. Appreciate you.
Okay. So we'll see you next week then. Thank you so much.
Very cool, love.